Hi, this is Tracy Kite from Georgia Highlands College, and today we're going to be looking at parallel and perpendicular lines. More specifically, we're going to be writing the equation of a line if we're given a parallel or perpendicular line. First, we need to know what the slopes and their relationships are when they're parallel and perpendicular. Parallel lines have the exact same slope. So in this example, we're given the line y equals negative 2x plus 7. We're asked for the slope of the parallel line. Well, the slope of this line is negative 2. So the slope of the parallel line is also negative 2. The two dash marks are also symbols for parallel. In the next example, we're looking at perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocal slopes. But in order to read the slope of an equation, given the line 2y equals 4x plus 3, we have to have it in slope-intercept form. So for this one, we need to solve for y. To get y by itself, we would have to divide by 2. If I divide each term by 2, we see that our perpendicular line is y is equal to 2x plus 3/2. So the slope of our perpendicular line is 2. To find the perpendicular slope, we need to find the opposite reciprocal. So the slope we want is the reciprocal, which is 1/2. This is positive, so ours is negative. Opposite and the reciprocal. Let's see what this looks like in writing an equation. Write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form that is parallel to the line y is equal to 3x minus 7 and passes through the point 2, negative 1. If you remember from our previous recordings, there are two things we have to have when writing the equation of the line. We have to know the slope and we have to know a point. So the first thing we need to do is find our slope. Well, the slope of our parallel line is negative 3. So because parallel lines have the same slope, our slope is also negative 3. Our point is 2, negative 1. Now we're going to use that in point slope form. Y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1 to find our equation. So y minus negative 1 is equal to negative 3, our slope, times x minus 2. The first thing we need to do is distribute negative 3. So y plus 1 is equal to negative 3x plus 6. I subtract 1 from both sides. Y is equal to negative 3x plus 5, and we have our equation in slope-intercept form. Y equals negative 3x plus 5. Let's look at another example. Write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form that is perpendicular to the line 6y equals 3x plus 6 and passes through the point negative 4, negative 3. I notice that perpendicular line is not solved for y. So the first thing I need to do is solve for y. So I'm going to divide every term by 6. This leaves us with y is equal to 1/2 x plus 1. Now, in order to write the equation of a line, I need the slope and a point. Our perpendicular slope is 1/2. So I need the opposite reciprocal to 1/2. The reciprocal of 1/2 is 2. The opposite would be negative. The point we're given is -4, -3. Now, just as before, we plug it into our equation. Y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. So y minus -3 is equal to -2 times x minus -4. Y plus 3 is equal to -2x. This becomes positive, so when I multiply times -2, I get -8. To write it in slope-intercept form, I have to subtract 3 from both sides. And now y is by itself. Y is equal to -2x minus 11. So the equation of our line in slope-intercept form is y is equal to -2x minus 11. Okay, let's try one more example. Write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form that is parallel to the line 2x plus 3y equals 6 and passes through the point -5, 1. Well, we know that it is parallel to this line, and we are given a point. But we have to find the slope of the parallel line. If you will remember, the slope is equal to -a over b. Our a term is 2, so that's -2 over b, which is 3. So our parallel slope is -2/3. That is also our slope since parallel lines have the same slope. The point we want to use is -5, 1. So now we just want to plug it into the equation. Y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. So we have y minus, and our y term is 1. Our slope is -2/3. X minus -5. Minus a negative, we'll change to plus a positive. Y minus 1 is equal to -2/3 x minus 10/3. I need to add 1 to both sides to write it in slope-intercept form. But instead of writing plus 1, I'm going to go ahead and get a common denominator and do plus 3/3. So I get y is equal to -2/3 x. Then -10 plus 3 would be -7/3. So our equation is y is equal to -2/3 x minus 7/3. Now let's talk about some things that we need to remember about this. The algorithm is we need to find the slope of the line that's given. Is it parallel? Then keep it the same. Is it perpendicular? Find the opposite reciprocal slope. Now use this slope and the point given to fill in point-slope form and solve for the slope-intercept form of the line. I hope this helps.